Google doesn't usually play catch-up, but the Godzilla of online search engines is doing just that with the rollout of its new artificial intelligence chatbot called Bard. To experience the new chatbot, users can sign up on a waiting list. It's being rolled out first in the US and the UK. Bard is meant to rival ChatGPT, but Google acknowledges Bard still has a lot to learn and says continued feedback from experts and users will help with improvements of the responses. Josh Constantine is a venture partner and venture capital fund Signal Fire. He joins us now from San Francisco. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so here's part of a statement which came from Google as they opened up Bard for a limited number of users. While large language models are an exciting technology, they're not without their faults. For instance, because they learn from a wide range of information that reflects real-world biases and stereotypes, those sometimes show up in their outputs, and they can provide inaccurate, misleading, or false information while presenting it confidently. I know that, all about that. Rolling out a new product with a disclaimer which suggests it's not exactly ready for prime time doesn't suggest a lot of confidence in all this right now.
You know, Google Bard is named after the poets and singers of old who used to tell those salacious stories like William Shakespeare, but don't expect to get anything too spicy out of its responses. Google is deeply afraid of its brand being tarnished by misuse of its AI. And that's why whenever you put a question into the Bard box, it actually gives you 3 responses to kind of limit its liability. And it's constantly disclaiming that, no, you should not be looking at this for facts. So while it can be useful for pulling up, a group of opinions or culling together information, if you want a specific fact, it might not work that well, which is exactly what happened at the embarrassing launch of Google Bard last month when it first debuted it and it got an answer wrong in front of everybody. But still, what I think this is exciting though, because finally we have competition. After an age of monopoly in technology where Facebook ruled social networking and Google ruled search, we have real competition in the AI market, which is going to benefit users with better capabilities and benefit startups as they all vie to offer the best developer platform.
Okay, well, the New York Times has this reporting. Many in the tech industry believe that Google, more than any other big tech company, has a lot to lose and to gain from AI. A chatbot can instantly produce answers in complete sentences that don't force people to scroll through a list of results, which is what a search engine would offer. In many ways, it seemed Google just never really wanted to go down this road in the first place. And it's kind of easy to see why. The Wall Street Journal says ads placed next to search results produced $162 billion in revenue for Google. So are those days coming to an end and Google just doesn't want to see the champagne stop?
Yeah, I can imagine that Google was hoping that this would never become a fruitful technology that everyone else would be able to offer. But that's also why it ended up behind. And ChatGPT launched last year and sucked up all of the attention in the space. And Bard and ChatGPT could become an alternative to search because instead of having to dig through a ton of results, you'd actually be able to get responses right away, but only to very generic questions. And that's why I'm more excited about what's going on in the startup scene. They're actually using these AIs and fine-tuning them for special use cases and bringing the utility where people actually need them, rather than having to paste an answer into ChatGPT or Bard and then copy it out and put it somewhere else. Startups like Grammarly from Signal Fire's portfolio, it's a grammar and writing assistant. It actually just works wherever you write, in your text messages, in your email, and gives you those kind of tone and clarity and grammar suggestions where you need them. So I think what's really exciting is the fine-tuning of these platforms to specific use cases and bringing the utility out of the search engine, out of the box, and bringing it to wherever people actually need it.
Everything I've learned about artificial intelligence, I've learned from the movies, like Hal from Space Odyssey. Here we go.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Hal's the computer which went insane and killed everyone, but except for Dave. And then, of course, there's the Terminator.
It can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. It doesn't feel pity or remorse or fear. And it absolutely will not stop. Ever. Until you are dead.
So out of Bard, Claude, GPT, or anyone else, which one's likely to go insane and kill us all? I don't think it's going to be Bard, because Bard doesn't seem too smart.
I think none of these are going to be what's happening. I wouldn't worry too much. There's a lot of sensationalist fear that suddenly these robots and computers are going to come alive and kill us. Honestly, they're still learning. They're kind of in their adolescence right now. And more exciting is how we fine tune them. I think if we make a general use AI that's good at everything, that could be a little bit more scary. But by building specific fine tuned models for very specific use cases, they get better fast and they can actually answer without getting confused the way that Bard does. Our fund Signalfire, we built our own AI to help us find the best startups. And you can't ask ChatGPT what the best seed stage company is. It's just going to tell you what's most popular or what had the most press coverage. You have to have human in the loop feedback, where you do these feedback cycles where the human teaches the AI what's right and wrong. And what we need to rely on is that all of these major platforms are doing that fine tuning, are keeping those safeguards there, and are making sure that this technology does not get out of hand and instead takes away some of the arduous and boring parts of life so we can get back to focusing on what makes us truly human, our creativity and our ability to curate what these AIs give us.
I just said they're not going to kill us, Josh. That's good enough for me. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.